what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
God, you're so fired from picking music. Are you kidding me? My wife and I listened to this last night.
Chad.
Did you listen to the lyrics of the song?
And yes, fantasy football fans, we did make it, baby. We did make it.
Oh, my goodness.
For an unprecedented run of 3 straight years, the guys who make their living by picking studs and avoiding duds are back.
3 years, baby. 3 years.
Full effect, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Volume 3, Episode 1 of the Fantasy Formula, the #1 fantasy sports podcast in all of Western North Carolina, basically because we are the only fantasy sports podcast in Western North Carolina. For a record-setting 3 years, we have been bringing our good listeners, the studs, the duds, the people to draft, the people to sit, and basically we've done a good job doing it, Addison. Give me some facts about last year's
Ladies and gentlemen, last year, believe it or not, as of 2 weeks ago, we had a total for last year's downloads over 7,500 downloads. Let me repeat that one more time. 7,500 downloads. As far-reaching as Vietnam, Chad. Vietnam was our 9th leading market. Country-wise. Absolutely. Actually, we had 2 people in Russia. They're kind of banned us over there. They put us in the same boat as Snowden. That we're kind of locked up at the airport.
They probably heard how much vodka I drink, and they're like, I gotta listen to this. Gotta listen to this.
Believe it or not, it was crazy looking at all the different downloads from different countries. China, Vietnam, Hong Kong.
Wow.
It was absolutely crazy. Malaysia was one.
Fantasy Formula spreading like wildfire across the globe, Addison. What we try to do here is to spread this wonderful fantasy football across the globe. We must have a good team behind us to allow us to do this.
That's right.
We are led by the Dream Team, as I like to call them. Let's introduce our first member of the Dream Team on the wheels of steel, the button pusher extraordinaire, our executive producer, Chris Magic Hands Farai.
Now, Chad, he didn't even hear that. Look, he's got his earbuds in.
He's probably watching.
He's producing the show. Yeah,
probably watching E.T. Next up, my friend, we can't forget him. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. He's Jay Dynamite Johnson.
Jay.
To my right, how can I forget him? He's the Pied Piper of pastrami. He's the T-shirt tycoon. He's the embroidery ambassador. He's 10 pounds lighter, looking like $1 million. He's Addison Houday.
That's right. Right. How y'all doing, people? How y'all doing?
And of course, the man who brings it all together, the 5-time champ, the king of sting, the pigskin professional. He's yours truly, Chad, the Hitman East.
The pigskin professional. That's a new one. I like
pigskin professional. Oh yeah, bringing it home.
That's good.
Addison. It's been 6 months since I saw you last,
Long time, buddy. Long time.
I've missed you a little bit. I know a lot of things have happened in the last 6 months to you and myself. But before we jump into our personal life and let's make the whole audience cry, let's talk about the playoffs. Last year, the playoffs. You made, unbelievably to most people, you made the playoffs after a 10-year hiatus.
No, it was not a 10-year hiatus.
It was a long time.
It was a 4-year. It was a 5-year hiatus.
4, 5, 10. Same difference to me. You made it. How did you do?
Lost first round.
Lost first round. Okay.
Lost first round.
But you made it. That's
right. That's right.
Me, on the other hand, Addison, I was in 3 leagues, made playoffs, all 3 leagues.
And didn't win one championship.
Yeah, early exit in 1, semifinals in the other 2. However, the great thing about fantasy football, it's a brand new year. It's a brand new page. We're ready to start fresh, Ad.
Teams have to make the playoffs, Chad. I mean, it's all right. I mean, you went 0 for 3, but that's okay. I mean, you got to have fillers in there to make the playoffs. It's okay. You're good.
How many rings you got, Ad?
That's right. Let's start the first 5 minutes of the podcast. Here
0 rings for Ad, 5 rings for the King of
It's all
Sting,
going to change this
Chad
year.
East.
All going to change this year with my first round pick.
I hear you, man. And it's an exciting year. You know, we're sitting here talking to you. It's August the 6th on a Tuesday here in the beautiful studios at The Mesh.
The underground studios.
The underground studios of The Mesh. And before we jump into the football stuff, Ad, as I mentioned before, it's been 6 months since I seen you. You look a little bit leaner.
That's right.
I mean, you're looking stronger. You got a bright smile on your face. What's been going on with you personally?
I got a beautiful 15-month-old son who's his nickname's Bam Bam. He's off the charts in about every category a child can be. Smarts, we'll start with that one. I don't know if there's an official chart on that, but size, weight, head, he's just gargantuous. Business is going well. We're on a banner year.
Super.
Yeah, we're going through some issues right now, but as a CEO / janitor, I'm going to handle everything like I've maintained. I've started this place from scratch. Hey, it's going to be a banner year. A banner year, buddy.
Well, that sounds wonderful. You know, I'm always here. If you want to talk about it, especially on the air, if you want to talk about any of these things.
No, let's move on.
You sure? I mean, I'll be happy to help you with these
Before I hit you with that bell, let's move on.
Right on. Well, Addison, it's been a good 6 months for me, too. My girl's growing older. You know, the town of Hickory seems to be coming back a little bit from a sluggish economy.
Yes, I agree. I concur.
Things are picking up a little bit down here in Hickory, and I'm just ready for some football. I mean, it's football time. It's right in front of us, and I wanted to talk to you briefly before we jump into it again. I like to call this the month of Chad, and I'll tell you why, Ad Rock.
The month of Chad.
The month of Chad. Now,
please enlighten me on
in
the
August,
month of Chad.
you know, we got a bunch of leagues going on. We got a bunch of fun stuff happening right before the kids go back to school. So on our first draft is this Friday, Addison. Our first draft, the Hickory League, starts on Friday.
Jay, get off the mic.
Jay, get off the mic is our league name, and we're having it at Catawba Country Club.
That's right.
Hopefully be able to play a little golf,
some cards.
Play some cards, set up our draft board, just really do it up. And
that's right.
Draft nights, as everybody knows who's in fantasy football, it's the best night of the year.
I mean, this is our night.
Exactly, it's our night.
That's why you try to get as many leagues as you can so you can have as many nights.
You can have several nights.
That's right.
No kids, no wives, it's just you.
3, let me ask you, Jennifer, I mean, you're in 3.
3 leagues.
Now, is one an online draft?
They're all live drafts.
So, the first one she's cool with.
Yeah.
The second one,
you
get a little bit of stink out. Third one, the mouth opens up and the words start coming.
Basically, yeah. And so after the third one, I kind of sneak into the back door. You know, we don't talk for a little bit until she settles down.
See, my household doesn't work that way because I handle my business in my house.
Lord, Paige, call in immediately. Refute him.
She's not going to listen to the podcast, so I can talk all the smack I want.
Very cool.
Where Jennifer's upstairs in this building, and she has a microphone piped in thing. Chad, she will be down. Every time Chad says something like Jennifer, he looks toward the door.
Oh, exactly right.
Okay, back to on your personal life.
Yeah, personal life. The week of Chad, or the month of Chad starts. We got a first draft Friday. I go to the beach with my family on Sunday for a week, and then have my other draft in Charleston on Friday. So we get to spend that weekend in Charleston with my college buddies, and then we get back and we have our final draft.
Wait. So you go to the beach. You go to the beach. And then you come out Hickory, then you go to Charleston?
No, I leave from the beach directly to Charleston.
So you leave your family. Let me explain.
That's how important fantasy football is to me, Addison. I'm leaving my family vacation.
My wife. No, see, I will say this. Paige would literally take those 2 orbs, put them in a jar. If I was going to try to leave a family vacation to go to fantasy.
I handle my business, son. I handle my business.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah,
so the month of August, it's the month of Chad. 3 fantasy football drafts, a beach trip, a visit to Charleston, a visit to playing a bunch of golf for our drafts. It's going to be wonderful.
Don't you own a business? Don't you own a business, by the way?
I have incredible employees. While I'm gone, they can take care of what needs to be taken care of.
Really?
Very proud. I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them. Well, Addison, without further ado, let's talk a little fantasy football and talk a little bit fantasy formula, if you will. Our format here at the Fantasy Formula, we combine Vegas odds with fantasy football to help us select the best players we want on our teams come draft day. In fantasy football, you want players from the best offenses to lead you to the Super Bowl. So with that being said, Ad, we got a little game we want to play. It's preseason. We've had one preseason game. Not many stats to talk about.
Nobody really cared about the Cowboys.
Did you watch it by chance?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, of course.
Anybody look good?
No.
Okay, I didn't really see anybody that stood out. Maybe a couple third-string running backs getting
defense plays. Yeah, the rookie linebacker run the pick back.
Right.
Actually, I thought Matt Moore looked kind of good, but I mean, as far as fantasy, no.
So let's just skip right over that. Let's start this little game. It's what we're going to do in Vegas. Every year, they always post win totals over and under for the 2013 campaign. Obviously, teams with higher win totals typically have the higher octane, better offenses, and better players. So, Ad-Rock, I'm going to start with a few teams. We're going to start with the NFC.
Okay.
I'm going to call their over-under totals, and you tell me your thoughts on if they'll reach that potential and maybe who you're looking to shine as a fantasy player this year. And we're going to start here with the lowly Arizona Cardinals. Last year, a dismal season. Nothing to talk about this year. Posted Vegas odds, 5.5 wins. Go ahead.
Yes, I think they'll reach that. I think Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald are going to be on the same page. I think their running game, which I think is still up at debate right now, but right now you still hear a chance of Kurt Warner's name in the fans. But I think Carson Palmer is coming in focus this year. I mean, I expect him to have some good numbers, and I think Arizona's going to be a 7-9 team.
I love the over the total 5.5. Carson Palmer, as you mentioned, a solid second quarterback on your fantasy team if you want to draft him late. Running game, they got Rashard Mendenhall this year. It should improve a little bit. And Larry Fitzgerald, worst season of his life last year with Carson throwing. I like him a lot better this year. I like the 7-9. Good call. Next on my board here, I've got the Atlanta Falcons coming off a great playoff run last year. 9.5 wins over under from Vegas. Go ahead.
That's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go over. I think the NFC South is going through Atlanta this year. Matty Ice, Julio Jones. They brought in Steven Jackson. I'm seeing 10 to 11 wins out of the Falcons this year.
Bingo, I've got them right about 10 as well. They'll improve, not necessarily improve on last year's win total, but their team will continue to play hard. They'll get to the playoffs. I love Julio Jones. I've got him as my number 3 overall wide receiver on the entire board. Matt Ryan, you can get him a little bit later. I got him a second-tier quarterback, but I love him this year. Don't forget, Steven Jackson, the St. Louis Ram, is now running the ball behind that offensive line. Michael Turner.
Real quick, you got Matt Ryan.
Yes.
As a second-tier quarterback with the weapons he's got down there.
My first tier are Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers,
Brady.
I got Brady lower than Ryan.
So let me ask this.
Let's get focused.
Okay.
But I like your question. Matt Ryan is a solid quarterback. I wanted him to start for my team. I'm just not going to draft him first 2 rounds.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. So Falcons 9.5. I'm going over at 10. You're at 10. Let's go. Next up, Chicago Bears. They've got a new coach. They've got some new things going on there in Chicagoland. 8.5 posted total.
No. Plain and simple. I don't think Cutler's got it. Even though, Brandon Marshall's, I think Forte's still going to be banged up. I don't think he's happy, even though I think he's got his contract worked out. I don't see it. I just don't see the weapons. I don't see it. I think the defense is spotty at best. I don't see it.
Once again, I agree with you, Addison. Once again, I think Vegas is right on the number. I can see it being like 8 wins or 9 wins. This isn't a playoff team this year. They've got a new coach. Now, if this new coach can get the offense kind of moving in the right direction,
CFL coach who knows how to put up points.
He does. So if he can get that offense moving, I can see that it's like boom or bust. I could see 4 wins, or I could see maybe 11
If that was
wins.
the case, though, we'd have more CFL coaches in the NFL.
Well, if this guy proves he can be successful, maybe we'll see more.
Okay.
Real quick, Brandon Marshall, number 4 wide receiver on my board. Love him this year. I think Cutler will have an okay year. Forte will improve on. I thought Forte was kind of a bust last year.
We got hurt. So yeah,
exactly. I think
give the man
year,
some. He's a bust. He got hurt.
Well, you still suck.
Hey, Chad, kind of like you coming in here busted with your busted up leg wheel. We cut you some slack.
Oh, speaking of which, my ACL is fully healed. I'm feeling good right now, buddy. Feeling good. So Bears 8.5. I think that's right at the number. Addison's going lower. Next NFC team we'll talk about. It's everybody's favorite, the Cowboys. All right, the Cowboys struggled last year. They were supposed to be everyone's darling, make it to the playoffs. Did make the playoffs for the 4th straight year, I think it was. Over under Vegas odds, 8.5 wins. Cowboys.
I think they're going over this year. I think they may actually have the piece in place, but they're going to be like me in the playoffs last year, 1 and done.
What do you think about Romo this year?
I think he's overrated. I think he needs to enjoy his money because his time is limited. in Dallas.
Fantasy fans, Romo right now, average draft position, he's being drafted in the 8th round. Last year he got drafted in round 2 or 3. He's been drafted in the 8th round. So people are undervaluing him. I think if you can get him 8th round, there's value to be had. Also, Des Bryant, probably top 5 receiver on my board. DeMarco Murray, big question marks fantasy-wise.
If he gets it. Des Bryant, the skill set's there.
Oh, yeah.
Talent's there, but does he get it? Is his head in the right place? And that's the big question mark. Everything I've seen, read, that's the question mark. Where's his head?
Completely agree. Just think about the last 4 games of the season last year for Dez. The dude was 100-yard games, 2 touchdowns a year. If he can continue that pace into the beginning of the 2013 year, man, who knows what can happen for the Cowboys. And this running game, DeMarco Murray, very questionable. So we'll bring him up a little bit later on. I'm worried about their running game. Next up, you ready?
Let's do it.
Packers. Aaron Rodgers-led Packers. 10.5 wins. 10.5 wins. Thinking about that division, you got the Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings.
I'm going to say over. I still think that the best passing game in NFL is in Green Bay. Yes. I mean, their weapons, you could have had their 4th-string receiver and put up 10 fantasy points in that spot last year. Mm-hmm. I think 11 wins the playoffs.
I'm dead on the number with 11 wins, too. I think it's over the total. What the Packers have this year that they didn't have last year, they drafted 2 rookie running backs. You got Eddie Lacy from Alabama. You got Jonathan Franklin from UCLA.
Did you see the pick him? Eddie Lacy was out of shape. Mm-hmm. And then it was just a bad photo because he comes in and then you see a photo of him looking like, dude, he's like 270 pounds. And you see another one, it's like, that dude's like 220. And
he's a monster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I really think if Aaron Rodgers can get a little bit of a running game, man, they could have a fantastic year. Number 1 receiver, Green Bay, I'm going Randall Cobb this year.
Randall Cobb.
With Jordy Nelson slightly behind, but I love Randall Cobb.
So you're going to take Randall Cobb or Jordy Nelson?
Average draft position, ADP, Randall Cobb, 3rd round. Average draft position, Jordy, 4th round. So far on these mocks that I've seen, I'm liking Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb can do it all. Line him up at the backfield, start him in the slot, start him on the outside.
True.
He's a very versatile. But Jordy Nelson, mark this down, I'm giving him 8 to 10 touchdowns this year. And James Jones, don't forget about him. He had 11 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
Mark him down for at least 8. So, love Green Bay's offense. If you can get any player on that Green Bay team, go ahead and get him. Next up, my friend, we're going to Minnesota camp, where the Vikings, with the MVP of last year, Adrian Peterson, on the field for them, fully healthy. I mean, he was fully healthy last year, but everybody questioned his health.
Is this year, will he break the record this year?
We'll see. 7.5 wins.
Over. I was going to say over.
You like them?
I like them this year. I think AP's mindset, I mean, I don't see how anything he set his mind to, he's done. Mm-hmm. And he says he's saying he's going for the all-time single-season Eric Dickerson's record, which I think he'll do.
He also said that he was going to break Emmett's all-time rushing record by 2015.
I think with Greg Jennings there, I think Christian Ponder has another weapon to go to. I think they're going to open up. I mean, they turned some heads last year, and I think there's they haven't been hurt by any off-season losses or injury.
Do you realize they made the playoffs last year? They were a playoff team last year.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't see how nothing's happened. All they're doing is come back stronger with a little more age. But, I mean, their age, I mean, they had, a second-year quarterback. They've added a veteran receiver. They've got the best running back in the last 20, 30 years in the game right now. Yeah. I don't see how they cannot be
You're going over, and I can see why you like over. I'm going to lean under. I can see him right at 7 wins, missing the playoffs. This is Percy Harvin was their kind of versatile back who did a lot of things. He's no longer on the Minnesota Vikings. Actually,
he's no longer playing.
Seattle. Yeah, he ain't playing for the year. It looks like. I think defenses will stack the box against AP. Granted, he can do whatever he wants to, but I don't think there's enough weapons on that team. I'm going Vikings missing the playoffs with just 7 wins, so I'm going to go under the total. Only player I like on that team that I would draft, if I had the number 1 spot, I'd get AP. I don't think I'd take anybody else on that team. Well, Kyle Rudolph, tight end, sleeper tight end.
See here, you say that now you got Greg Jennings, Rudolph. Mm-hmm. Ponder's not a bad quarterback. Now I'm not saying he's
Would you draft him as a fantasy quarterback?
No.
Okay.
But as a playing quarterback, I mean he's going to do. He didn't make many mistakes last year as a rookie, as a second year. Rookie? Was he rookie?
Rookie, I think. Yep.
Yeah, as a rookie quarterback taking a team to the playoffs. Come on, I mean that doesn't happen a lot in the NFL.
Yeah. All right, you go ahead and draft him. Next up, we're going New Orleans, Addison, New Orleans.
You've had 3 years, you still can't do it.
Well, the Saints last year. a lot of bad things. No Sean Payton. They struggled earlier. Drew Brees tried to bring him back at the end. Just not enough. Saints, 9 wins total. Sean Payton back.
No.
Wow. You got under?
I got under.
Tell me why.
Who's the running back? They got run back by committee again. They got Darren Sproles. Who you got? Darren Sproles again.
Sproles.
Which Darren Sproles, I honestly think this could be a breakout year. Another. I mean, I agree he's been in the league. I think his versatility and his ADP was up there. A lot of people are seeing that with this offense, with Sean Payton back. There's going to be a lot of different little looks going on. So the win total, no. Darren Sproles, I think Darren Sproles may have a huge fancy year.
All right, guys. Sleeper pick from Ad Rock, Darren Sproles. I love Darren Sproles, too, especially if you're in a PPR league or half-point PPR. Darren Sproles is going to get you about 4 catches a game.
Number 1 receiving back the last 2 years in the NFL.
Love it. You got to love Darren Sproles. And I love the Saints this year. Sean Payton back in the mix. Check this out, Addison. This is just what I believe. I think Drew Brees likes to carry a chip on his shoulder, right? I think he thinks last year the NFL tried to do them a little dirty. They're going to want revenge, and they're going to want it in a bad way. I think Drew Brees breaks. I don't even know what quarterback records there are to break, but I think he's
got most of them.
He probably owns most of them.
But the only thing is, they don't have much. Their defense couldn't stop a wet paper towel.
True, but for defenses, think about for fantasy purpose. If you have a bad defense, that's good for your fantasy guys because that means their offense is going to be back on the field scoring points. So Drew Brees, my number 1 quarterback on the board. As you said, Darren Sproles, I like him as an RB2. I would draft him late second, early third. That's how much I like him too. Jimmy Graham, number 1 tight end on the board, hands down.
I saw him, believe it or not, I saw him go first round in 3 different mock drafts.
I believe it. Because think about this. When you're talking about drafting, you've got all these different positions. Jimmy Graham is the number 1 tight end by so far leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
You could get the advantage in that position.
But to see the color coordination on those charts, and you look up and you see a tight end in the first round, you're going, what? And then you have, what about Gronk? Well, Gronk's been hurt a couple of times, so you don't know. He was second, third round. But a tight end first round, I mean, in the years that we've been playing fantasy.
Never seen anything like that. Never. I'll tell you, I'm so confident in this Saints offense, I would take Jimmy Graham. And I'm actually drafting 11th spot in one of my drafts. I would take Jimmy, probably not that first pick, 11, but on the turn, snake draft, second round, first pick.
Is that our draft?
No, that's the other draft. I would take Jimmy Graham in that spot. I've never drafted a tight end ever. I'm always a running back kind of guy.
Question real quick then.
Shoot.
First round pick.
Yeah.
You got a first round pick. You pick first round.
Yeah.
You got 24 picks come back around. If he's there, if Jimmy Graham is your second round pick, your first second round pick would you take a tight end over running back? Would you do it?
If I'm drafting one,
if you had the first round pick and somehow miraculously say Gronk or Jimmy Graham comes back to you're the first round pick, so you snake through.
You mean number 1 pick?
Yeah, so you're going to be your first round pick.
AP and
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If Jimmy Graham's there at the end of the second round, I would have a heart attack. I'd be all over it.
Okay.
Now think about Gronk. He's out for at least probably 3 to 4 weeks, but I'd draft Gronk as the second tight end overall, but probably wait till the 4th or 5th round. That because he's got the talent of Jimmy Graham. He's just hurt right now.
See, I don't think he'll be a third, fourth. I don't think he'll be there.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Not this year. Not in the last couple. From the numbers they both put up, no, I don't think they'll be there.
Okay, interesting. Anyway, Saints, Addison's under 9. I'm way over the Saints this year. I think maybe 11, 12 wins. I really like them a lot.
Smoking crack.
Next up, buddy, this Giants team. Let's talk about the Eli Manning Giants team. Eli, a very tough year last year. Backfield, brand new. Ahmad Bradshaw gone. David Wilson and Andre Brown fill the role. You still got Victor Cruz signed to a 6-year deal, got all his money. Now Hakeem Nicks, this is his contract year. Addison, 9.5 wins for this Giants team.
I think they're due. I think the coach has got them geared, ready. Eli, look, as much as people downplay him, Eli, I think in the game time situation, I know Peyton's good, but in the last couple of years, I like Eli. Yeah. I like Eli in clutch situations.
He's got 2 Super Bowls. Peyton's got 1.
You're
Eli's
right.
got 2 Super Bowls.
And you know what? I think Eli, people going to think I'm crazy, numbers-wise. I think I would rather take Eli in a clutch situation rather than Peyton.
Hey, I don't think you're crazy, man. I think you're right on the money there. Giants at 9.5. It seems like the Giants have one great year, one off year. One great year, one off year. Last year,
off year.
Off year. This year,
I agree.
Great year. I like the Giants to win that division, and I like them for 11 wins. Listen to this. Eli Manning, fantasy-wise, let's talk a little fantasy. I don't know if I'd want him as my starting quarterback, but let's say you wait to draft a quarterback way late and he falls like 8th, 9th round. If you can get him, I won't want mine starting him. I mean,
that's the thing. I started him last year,
confident.
and he had games where he put up 45 points. Yeah. He had other games where he put up like 9.
Exactly.
But it was inconsistent. But when he was on, and he had 3 weeks where he was on 40 points, 40 points, 40 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, but you look at other starting quarterbacks, he was still, I think he was a top 20 fantasy point getter.
Yeah.
So
fantasy question: Victor Cruz or Hakeem Nicks? Who would you want? Wide receivers.
Ooh, Victor Cruz.
Cruz,
big play.
Victor Cruz right now going ADP normally about end of 3rd, early 4th round. Hakeem Nicks has fallen to late 4th. So I'd probably want to have Victor Cruz on my team. And the other big question out of the New York Giants camp is who will be the starting running back? Is it David Wilson? Is it Andre Brown? David Wilson's ADP 3rd round. Andre Brown's ADP been around the 6th round. They're supposed to be splitting 50% of the carries. This is my little tidbit of info to you fantasy lovers.
I feel a little NC State thing going on here.
Don't draft Wilson. Wait on to 6th round to get Brown because you're getting value there. You're getting value, and yes, he is a Wolfpack man. But,
shocker.
I'm just telling you. I think David Wilson's got better running back potential. Andre Brown's going to get all the goal line carries. So you weigh him here, there, whatever way you want to look at it. But I'd wait a little bit to get Andre Brown. Giants over the total for me and Ed. Next up, buddy, Eagles. We're going to stay in that division. Eagles, last year, dismal year. Michael Vick probably coming on. He wishes that year never even happened. He wishes it was just a dream, but unfortunately it wasn't. You've got Jeremy Maclin out for the year. You've got this Riley Cooper wide receiver, all kinds of controversy over him. He's taken a leave of absence from the team. So Eagles, Vegas got it set. Last year, Eagles' number was 11 wins. Now they're down to 7.5.
Oh, they're going under. I think LaShawn McCoy gets hurt 2nd, 3rd week. But I think the one highlight will be my boy, Bryce Brown. I mean, the boy, you don't come out and run for 222 yards and your rookie. You got to remember, this kid was the number 1 running back coming out of high school.
Sure, absolutely.
He got detoured a little bit. They said he was the next Emmitt Smith when he was coming out. Yeah. And his first games he gets the opportunity to start, look what he goes and look what happens. I think if he gets some Sean McCoy stumbles at all, Bryce Brown will be a starting running back for the remainder.
Not a bad call there, Addison, especially average draft position. You got ADP, LaShawn McCoy going middle to first round. Bryce Brown's not being drafted till round 10.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you draft LaShawn McCoy, do me a favor and handcuff him with Bryce Brown because if LaShawn gets dinged up, Addison's
which I think he is because he's got a bad wheel. He's got a bad wheel, plain and general. And I don't think his name's Adrian Peterson. So I don't see LaShawn McCoy come back. Even though LaShawn McCoy's a good running back, look, he didn't put up any numbers like Bryce Brown did. Yeah.
You're under Eagles 7.5. I'm gonna go under 2. I see him right at 7 wins. 2 questions on Eagles, and let's move through this quickly. Chip Kelly, Oregon's coach, now coaching Philly. What do you see from him? Is he going to bring this up-tempo offense, or are you going to see?
I got one name for you.
What you got?
Steve Spurrier.
So you see Chip Kelly failing.
You got it.
Okay, next thing. Michael Vick. No, he hasn't got the starting nod yet. Would you draft Michael Vick as your starting quarterback this year, or just stay away from him like the plague?
2 words for you. Hell no.
All right, you heard it here. Hell no and Steve Spurrier. All right, next up, buddy. This is everybody's Super Bowl favorite to make it from the NFC. It's the San Francisco 49ers coming off
the San Francisco tree.
Breaking loss in the Super Bowl. What a Super Bowl that was. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. What a game it was.
All right, Colin Kaepernick. Where is he? Where's he going?
All right. Colin Kaepernick is around my tier 3, and I put Kaepernick.
Not even a tier 2.
I don't have a tier 2.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got him like Kaepernick, RG3, Russell Wilson kind of tier, maybe even tier 4.
Now,
but still a top 12 quarterback.
Stupid little fact. You know he has a 95-mile-per-hour fastball?
I heard he was one heck of a baseball player back in the day.
He was clocked at 95 on the mound.
Wow. Multi-talented.
Yes.
Vegas, speaking of multi-talented, Vegas got him at 11.5 wins.
Woo.
11.5 wins.
That's too many.
You think so?
I can't. Wow.
Think of that division too.
Run back. We got Frank Gore, but I think he's on his last leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got Lattimore, who came in, who they have high hopes on, but he's out for the first couple weeks.
He's not going to play the whole year. They basically said because they got LaMichael James, who
that's right.
A sleeper alert, LaMichael James. If Frank Gore gets hurt, which he always gets hurt, LaMichael James, explosive back.
God, out of Oregon, dude. He's awesome.
And he's getting drafted in like round 12. So if you could get him on your team.
But Frank Gore was supposed to be, I thought Frank Gore, he looked like the walking wounded. And he's only like 2 IQ points above not smart.
You know what he is, though? He's solid. Like, he doesn't fumble. You know, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to give you 80 yards, maybe a touchdown, and 2 catches a game.
So he's like the Michael Turner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely. But, you know, don't sleep on Frank Gore. Last year, he was a top 8 running back on fantasy points last year. So if you can get a Frank Gore's ADP, he's been falling to round 3. So that's solid value in round 3. Other weapons, Crabtree for the 49ers is out for most of the regular season. You know, they don't really know when he's going to be back. Vernon Davis, still a threat there. I'm trying to think of wide receivers for the 49ers.
Crabtree.
He's out. He's hurt too.
No, is he?
Yeah, he's
I
hurt.
missed that.
Anquan Bolden. They signed Anquan Bolden from the Ravens last year. So Kaepernick going to be running the ball with Frank Gore, throwing it to Vernon and Anquan, I guess.
Too many wins. No, under.
I'm under the total too. 11.5 is way too many.
Yep.
I can see him at maybe 9 or 10. I think this is a playoff team, but 11.5 wins is way too many. All right, let's stay in that division, the NFC West with the Seahawks. Their big run last year with their new quarterback, Russell Wilson, leading the way.
The Wisconsin Badger.
The NC State Wolfpack man. 10.5 from
You had
Vegas.
to throw it in there, even though he did not graduate from NC State.
He played there 3 years. 10.5 win, Seahawks.
Yeah, I can see that. I think their defense will lead them this year.
Yeah,
I think their offense is
the best
good.
defense.
They averaged 20. I think Seattle averaged a little over 24 points last year, which was fairly good for the NFL. I think it was ranked 8th in offense. Defense, I like Seattle. I mean, they're a sleeper. I mean, Russell Wilson proved that he could lead an NFL team, and I think they tried to pick up Percy Harvin, even though it didn't work out. But I like their weapons. Marshawn Lynch is still there, still running hard.
10.5 over under. Hit me.
Over. I say over.
All right, he's going over. I'm going Seahawks right at 10 wins. So I'm just barely under. I like Russell Wilson to continue, you know, to grow as a quarterback. But as fantasy numbers go, man, I've only got him like my 12th.
We're not talking
13th.
Fantasy numbers.
I know, but we're combining over under wins and totals to kind of help us decide on who we want as a fantasy
You're
team.
dumb.
No, this is strategy. This is my philosophy that I've built championships with. Adam.
I'm some breakouts. You're dumb.
Marshawn Lynch, top 5 running back. I agree with you there. Wide receivers, a little bit lackluster. Sleeper note, Golden Tate. They're saying he's having a phenomenal camp with Percy Harvin not going to be able to be there. Golden Tate is supposed to fill that.
Let's see. How phenomenal.
They're saying that.
They're saying how phenomenal.
Yeah.
How phenomenal.
All right,
draft-wise.
Okay, Golden Tate, I'll say he has 8. I say he's 900 yards. He has 6 touchdowns.
6th round, 7th round.
Later. I'm talking about he's a late sleeper.
Okay.
I'm going like 9th round, 9th or 10th round. Golden Tate, look for him. All right, so Seahawks under the total from me, over for Addison. Next up, Rams, an improved Rams team. Last year, really stinky.
From 1 win to 2 wins?
I think they had 3 wins or 2 wins last year, but Vegas got it at 6.5 wins. This conference is improving. You got San Fran, Seattle, and St. Louis making a swing up. Cardinals, you know, still kind of in the basement there, but 6.5 wins for the Rams.
Under. I don't see it.
Okay, under. Addison goes under, very short and to the point. I'm going over, and this is why I say Sam Bradford. This is his year. I said it last year too.
Yes, you did.
But I'm saying this is his year. He's got that coach, Steve Fisher, 2 years under his belt now. I love Steve Fisher. Isn't that his name from the Titans?
Yeah.
Steve Fisher. They've got running back by committee, but they've got a lot of good offensive weapons. They drafted Tavon Austin out of West Virginia. Mm-hmm. He's going to be kind of like your everyday, like Percy Harvin. They've got some pretty good wide receivers.
Brandon Gibson.
He's moved.
Oh, he's gone. He's already gone too.
He's gone.
Damn.
They've got a tight end, Jared Cook, that used to be for the Titans. That's supposed to be. He's my sleeper tight end of the year. So, guys, I like the Rams over, maybe just 7 wins, but I'm going over the 6.5. Look to them to surprise a few teams this year. Next up, let's go down in the NFC South. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The muscle hamster.
The muscle hamster. He's everybody. I mean, I love him this year. 8 wins from Vegas. Are you going to have any of these Tampa Bay Bucs on your fantasy team?
If I could, yeah.
Who you want?
Doug Martin.
Of course. Who else?
That's it.
So Tampa Bay's offense led by Josh Freeman.
I take that back. No. I'll take Vincent Jackson.
Love Vincent Jackson this year. Love Vincent Jackson. You got Doug Martin going in everybody's draft.
Doug Martin, Vince Jackson, who's a other receiver.
Mike Williams is on the other side for them. You know, he's a little I'm not going to say
I had him last year, and he did. He put up some decent numbers. I mean, when Vincent Jackson, he put up some decent numbers.
Fantasy wise, if you're looking for a fantasy D way late in the draft, I'm telling you, don't draft a defense or a kicker before the last two picks of the rounds of your draft. But Buccaneers may be a defense to look for. Remember, they've got Revis now. They also got the safety from San Fran last year. Their defensive line is improved. They might be a defense to reckon with. Just keep that on your in front of you when you're drafting. Defense late might be Tampa Bay to take a swing at. All right, next up, Redskins. 8.5 at Rock. 8.5. Can RG3 get him to the playoffs?
I think he can. Alfred Morris looking good. The only issue, receiving core. I just don't know.
We got Pierre Wee Garçon. He's back and he's fully healthy.
But he's got some age on him.
He's a little older. You got Santana Moss.
You got Fred Davis.
You got Fred Davis as the tight end.
Santana Moss, he's got to be, 34, 35?
His average draft position, I looked at it today, he's going in like round 13. Remember when Santana Moss used to be like a top third round kind of guy, fourth round?
Not
he's
anymore.
Really falling off. RG3, Alfred Morris going in the first round of most drafts. RG3 falling to round 4 or 5. I think that's where he belongs. Fred Davis normally going around 10. But Pierre Garçon going in round 5, his average draft position, round 5. So they got high hopes for them. I like the Skins, too. If RG3 can stay healthy, this team makes the playoffs.
Now, he was wasn't he the leading fantasy point getter last year?
Probably so. I mean, he was putting up some crazy numbers. But if he runs around like he did last year, his head's coming off. If he can be a little bit smarter, not run around and dive for that extra yard, and he stays healthy, I like him over the total, too. And last but not least, all you Panther fans here in Panther World, a lot of high hopes. Have you been reading the papers? They've got high expectations.
It might as well be called the Charlotte Carolina Panther Observer.
Yeah.
That's all they... Panthers.
They love some Panthers. Well, Vegas.
And it was Fan Fest yesterday, or last week. So
put your makeup on, face paint on, and go down there and enjoy the crowds.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You wore your Jake Delhomme jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Kerry Collins, maybe, jersey.
I have a Jeremy Shockey jersey on.
One of those.
Yeah.
But Vegas got that number set at 7.5. Last year, they had it at 5. So they got it 2.5 more games than they did last year.
No, I don't think. Nope. Unless the only way this decision is based on one thing. If Ron Rivera will decide to run the ball, yes, they'll have more than 7 wins. If he does not run the ball, 1, he will not have a job next year, and 2, the Panthers will be dismal. You'll have running backs not showing up for camp. I think he had one of the best 1-2 running tandems in the league, and they did not run the ball. Idiots. Right. Well,
speaking of their running game, you've got Jonathan Stewart, surgery on both ankles again. He's still not fully recovered. If Jonathan Stewart he says he's going to be ready by game 1. He's not going to play any of the preseason. I just can't trust him. He hadn't played a whole dang season since he's been a Panther.
Nope.
D'Angelo Williams' average draft position is normally around 8 or around 9. If Jonathan Stewart is not healthy, dude, they're going to run the ball this year. They're going to do it. And that's the only healthy running back. I'm moving D'Angelo up a little bit on my board. Also,
Fifth,
or sixth. Yeah. That's where I'd put him. Cam Newton, average draft position. He's normally like the 4th or 5th quarterback going off the board after your Breeze, Rodgers, Manning. Some people have Brady and then Newton. I draft him around round 3 because the dude ran for 800 yards and like 8 touchdowns. Plus, he's going to throw the ball too.
Right.
I like Cam Newton this year. I like the Panthers this year. I think they get 8 wins, so I'm going over the total. Not playoffs yet, but 8 wins.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, there goes your NFC wrap-up for total wins, over and under. And we're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsor.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
Welcome back, fantasy formula lovers. Addison and myself are here just reviewing the Las Vegas over-under win totals to try to help us formulate our fantasy plans for our drafts. And that's speaking of drafts, No one's really had a draft yet, but it's upcoming. It's right around the corner.
Everybody should be drafting. This first draft should be this weekend, and then by next weekend, they should be in full effect.
Yes, just like Addison said, our first draft is this weekend, and they'll follow throughout the month of August. But, it's draft season, so what we want to do to help our fantasy listeners is we want to talk a little bit about our first-round picks. Addison, I'm going to let you make your first-round selections from pick 1 to pick 12. I'm going to review it, and then I'm going to do the same, and you review. This is what our leagues are based on, the one that Addison and I are in together. It's a half-point PPR. We start 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex, 1 tight end, obviously a kicker and a defense. I think, don't we get 6 points for a touchdown in that league, or is it 4?
6.
You get 6 points for a touchdown, and also the real cool thing about our league is we get bonuses. Wide receivers and running backs for over 100 yards, you get a 5-point bonus. Quarterbacks for over 300 yards, you get a 5-point bonus. And there's even bonuses that if you go more than that, like a quarterback with 400 yards, he even kick in a couple extra bonus points. So we've got a lot of system with a lot of bonus points that are awarded for fantastic Sundays.
Right.
So with that being said, Adrock, I'll let you start. We're going to go 1 through 12. You just tell me the pick and who you're drafting.
Now I've got my first 6 down. Now, like I said when I came in here before we started, I've looked at too many mock drafts. So I'm second guessing everything I do in the latter rounds, and that's where some people call it dead man's land. You don't know what to pick. Some people, as I've seen some moves do, and I was actually kind of impressed. Some people actually traded down to the 12th pick on your snake back round, so you get a 12th, and then you get a 13th back to back.
Snake.
Yeah, so we're running back heavy, I think, this year. So, I'm gonna go through my first 6 I have, and then Chad, you can help me along. We can get some feedback here.
Sure.
Number 1 is obviously Alfred Morris. I think that's a joke, people.
Oh,
that's a joke.
Fell off the chair over here.
Number 1, hands down, Adrian Peterson. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think he could have a breakout year. And I think everybody thinks he's going to do. They're going to stack the box against him, but I don't think it matters. I think he's that good of a back. Second, I got Arian Foster. I still think he's still going to be the man of Texas. I think the Houstons have a good offensive line, and I like Arian Foster. He's a gazelle, and I like the way he runs. I like it. Third, Doug Martin. Doug Martin's going to have a banner year down in Tampa Bay. Huge offensive line. They've had some upgrades with the offensive line. He's going to have a huge year. I'm saying 1,500, 1,600 yards for Doug Martin. Number 4, I like Aaron Rodgers. I like all the weapons he has. I know you're talking about the points discrepancy. The man just puts up points when it counts. I like Aaron Rodgers, number 4. Number 5, I got Drew Brees. Like you were talking about earlier, Drew Brees, they put up points. His weapons down there are huge, and I think he just spreads the ball around. Jimmy Graham, Darren Sproles, those 2 guys will have a huge year with Drew Brees at quarterback. And number 6, Alfred Morris. I think Alfred Morris with the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins spent some money in this offseason to protect RG3. They spent money on offensive line to protect RG3. That means more benefits for the running backs, better blocks. I'm liking Alfred Morris. Now, 7 through 12, it's a crapshoot. I got nothing. I really don't.
Just say something out there. Just give it to me, and then I'll do my. Well, go ahead. Just give me. What do you think? Come on. You're the fantasy football guru, dog. Come on.
I've looked at all these mock drafts, and I was sitting there going, I was having just brain farts.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Marshawn Lynch will be a great 7. If you can get him at number 7, Marshawn Lynch is great. Steven Jackson in Atlanta. It could be a stretch. Now, Steven Jackson's old. He's not made it through the year, but I think with a new team, could be fantastic. Mm-hmm. Sean Vereen out of New England.
Now, first round?
No, hold on. Now, listen. Hear me out.
Lord.
Hear me out. He, as in a PPR league, he had the second most receptions in the coming out of the backfield. And last year behind Darren Sproles, which I like that in a PPR league, which we're in. Mm-hmm. So you can consider it, but I like, and that was run by a committee. But he's stepped up. I think in the off season now, he's the clear number 1 in New England.
No, I'm not going to. Well, I am going to interrupt.
Interrupt.
All right, Stephen Ridley is the clear number 1.
No. Was Stephen Ridley? I have it mixed up.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Stephen Ridley is the runner. Shane Vereen is the little scat back who's going. I love Shane Vereen.
I thought Vereen. I thought Vereen would have moved up. And now I mistaken.
Why don't we do? Okay, so let's just cancel Addison's rest of his first round. I liked his first few picks, no doubt. I'm going to start with mine, and then you forgot a couple guys, so I'm going to go with AP, clear choice. If anybody drafts somebody besides AP with the first pick, we got some problems because AP is head and shoulders above everybody. Doug Martin is my number 2 on my board. He's the second-year running back. A lot of people love Arian Foster in this spot. Arian Foster, I like him too, but I'm just thinking Doug Martin's got a little bit more upside. I'm drafting him at number 2. Number 3, that's where Foster falls into my top, my first round. Solid, he's going to, if you're looking for solid and consistency, he's going to give it to you. I just think he lacks a little bit of that upside that Doug Martin does. Number 4, Jamal Charles from Kansas City. You got Andy Reid, the coach there. He's going to line Jamal Charles up just like he did LaShawn McCoy in Philly. And Jamal Charles, to me, is better than LaShawn McCoy. I love Jamal Charles for about 1,200 to 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and probably about 50 catches out of the backfield.
You rode him hard last year. He was your team last year.
He was. He was great until he got hurt. Number 5, I got him high, a little bit higher than you had, Marshawn Lynch. Seattle's offense, Russell Wilson he'll run around and throw the ball a little bit, but they're a running team. That's what they do. And Marshawn Lynch is the back to run the ball with. Marshawn Lynch, my projection for him, I'm going about 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. This dude is a beast in the backfield. I really love him. Number 6, I don't know if you mentioned him or not on your list, but C.J. Spiller for the Bills. Fred, what's the dude's name? The other back.
Fred Davis.
No, not Fred Davis.
Fred Jackson.
He and Spiller, the last couple of years, been splitting carries. Fred Jackson getting 60-40. This year, boy, Fred Jackson might be Spiller 80-20. Spiller has got everything you want in the back. Breakaway speed. He can avoid tackles. He can catch the ball in the backfield. C.J. Spiller has a chance, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first, to have more fantasy points than AP this year. I wouldn't draft Spiller number 1. Of course, AP is the number 1 solid choice, but Spiller has so much upside. The thing I worry about Spiller is Buffalo just stinks.
Yeah.
E.J. Manuel, Florida State, will probably be their quarterback. Steven Johnson's already hurt.
Kevin Cobb has just got to be beside him. Like, what the hell?
Kevin Cobb a couple years ago was he's going to be the next star. Now the dude can't even make the team for Buffalo. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, Spiller, my number 6 spot. 7, a guy I love, especially if you don't play PPR and you play like a standard scoring league, Trent Richardson for the Cleveland Browns. Look for this guy to have a monster year. A monster year.
He had I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had the most carries out of any running back. And the coach up there, he rides that pony. Run.
They got Brandon Weeden as
he sucks.
And he's not good. They said he's improving in camp.
He sucks. Okay, where's Weeden going to get drafted? He's not.
He's not getting
drafted.
He's not getting drafted. I really like Trent Richardson in this spot, the 7th spot. He's going to be the workhorse. He'll definitely have more carries than anybody else running back in the league. Mark it down. Number 8, this guy is still in my first round, but has fallen over the last 2 years. Ray Rice for the Ravens. Last year, Ray Rice was going about the 3rd pick. The year before, he was going around 1 or 2. He's fallen to my 8th spot. The only reason is there's another dude in town. His name Bernard Pierce. He's a running back. He got some run last year at the end of the year. He's going to take away some of the carries for Ray Rice, and I just feel like that offense. I don't know. I'm just worried about Baltimore a little bit this year.
You got to the latter parts of last year, and Ray Rice. Any house that I would go to or watch a game, somebody had Ray Rice. Come on, Ray.
Right.
He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, you were a little disappointed.
You were a little bit.
Completely agree. And I will feel confident drafting Ray Rice at 8, but I'm not going to draft him any higher.
I don't know. There's some other quality picks. You can actually probably go with Ray Rice's numbers. There's probably. Would you subsidize a Jimmy Graham if you had that pick? Would you? I'm just saying, if it's there, if you had the point, you come back through.
Great question. You talking about on this back end?
Well, no. If you come through first round, you see Jimmy Graham going. First round. Would you take a Jimmy Graham first round over a Ray Rice for point potential?
And the answer is no. And the reason being because this year, Addison, this is my philosophy, and it's always been all the people that have been in fantasy drafts with me. I'm a running back dude.
I agree with you.
You got to get a running back early, and I like to get running back.
I agree. I've done that philosophy the last 2 years.
Especially this year, in my mind, there are 8 solid running backs. Okay, and then there's some good ones after that, but there's 8. If I can get one of those 8, I feel good. The way to start the draft.
We have yet to mention a receiver too.
I know exactly. Again, quarterbacks you can wait on. Wide receivers, there's so many of them this year. I feel like I can stack round 3, round 4, round 5 if I want to, round 9, round 10.
Because they're so deep, receivers.
So deep. So grab your running backs early. That's just my philosophy. Your Jimmy Graham question, if I can get him second round, I might scratch my running back. So
you would take with your philosophy.
Yes.
You would take Jerry Rice over Jimmy Graham. And if
Jerry Rice, because I think he's retired. I think Jerry Rice is retired.
Ray Rice. You take Ray Rice. I'm saying.
I take Ray Rice in the first round, and then if I could get Jimmy Graham back on the snake draft in the second round, I get him. But anyway, Ray Rice at 8. I think that's where he belongs. First wide receiver off the board at the 9 spot, Calvin Johnson. I'm taking Calvin Johnson. If I've got the 9th spot and he's there, I'm going to draft him. The reason being, just like we talked about Jimmy Graham, I think Calvin Johnson is slightly ahead of the other receivers. You're going to get the point potential for Calvin Johnson. It's almost unheralded.
And one team we did not talk about is Detroit Lions.
We did not talk about
that.
You're right.
And let's say that out real quick.
Okay, go.
Matt Stafford.
Yes.
Reggie Bush in the backfield.
Yeah. I like their team this year. I really do.
You know what? For the first time, I actually think Reggie Bush may actually do something.
Yeah.
For the first time. I mean, Miami, no. New Orleans, a lot of hype coming out, Heisman, but you knew he wasn't doing anything in Miami. Yeah. But I like with Stafford throwing over 5,000 yards last year, I think it's setting up for the run. I really do.
Question. Reggie Bush, DeMarco Murray, or Chris Johnson? Draft. Who you drafting first? Who you drafting between those 3?
I'm taking Reggie Bush.
Wow. I like Reggie Bush as a late second-round pick, but I also got Chris Johnson penciled in there. I've
seen Chris Johnson go as far as, and some of them fall as far as 4th round.
Oh, that's great value. We're going to talk about
what has he done?
Well,
what has he done?
They've got a new coach. They've got a new offensive line. They've got a new focus. And so, anyway, we'll talk about that in the next program. But So you got Reggie Bush 1, Chris Johnson 2. I probably have Chris Johnson slightly ahead of Reggie Bush, but Reggie Bush definitely in front of him.
I like the new team. I like it. I like everybody's focused on Megatron. Opens up the backfield.
One other thing to think about Calvin Johnson last year, he only had like 4 touchdowns, but he had 5 possessions where he went down at the 1-yard line. So you add 5 more touchdowns to that. So he set the record of receiving yards last year. Plus he would have had 9 touchdowns. This dude, come on, he's like almost unstoppable. Yeah. He's my 9th pick. Number 10, I'm going LaShawn McCoy out of Philly. Just like Addison said a little earlier, I'm a little worried about him.
If you get LaShawn McCoy, you better
get Bryce
Brown like the 5th, 7th, 8th round if he's available.
This Chip Kelly, he likes, even though they're up-tempo stuff, they like to run the ball. They like to run the ball in Oregon. LaShawn McCoy, I'll feel confident at 10.
Wait, is Philly going to have the cards? Like Oregon have, the play calling cards.
That's pretty funny. That'd be fun. They hold a picture and it's your face out there. That means immediately.
Now, I would love to see. Now, that's the ultimate marketing. If we could call Chip Kelly and get the fancy Formula logo on one of the cards.
Brilliant idea. Do you know him?
I'll call him.
Text him.
Yeah, I'll get him.
11, Alfred Morris. We talked about him. The Redskins, he had a great rookie year. I think he continues to improve on that. He's my 11th pick. And my last spot, I had a tough time with this. Because I don't have any quarterbacks in my first round. Normally, most drafts, you got a couple quarterbacks. I took Steven Jackson in the 12th spot. The reason being, Atlanta's offensive line, unbelievable. I mean, they have a great offensive line. They're going to score points, and he is going to be their goal line back. And so I can see him with about 10 touchdowns this year.
Kind of about as many touchdowns as Turner last year. Wow.
Wasn't Michael Turner your first-round pick last year?
He was my first-round pick.
And you booed off the stage.
And that's right. And he still put up 900. He put up 900 yards and almost, I think, 10 touchdowns. Okay, that's better than most first-round picks. And you know what?
Not on my team, buddy.
I made the playoffs. Whatever.
That wraps up our mock draft round 1. Now, round 1, kind of easy. Our next podcast, we're going to talk about round 2s and 3, and we'll also review our draft that we're getting ready to have Friday night. I can't wait, dude. It's that time of year. You can smell it in the air. I mean, it is.
I'm excited.
It's football time, baby.
Dude, we only got 4 more days and we're drafting, Chad.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait. Ladies
and gentlemen, I want to apologize. I was a little ill prepared today. We got like I said, I got some issues going on with the job, and I wanted
to Double J giving you the stink eye. Look at Double J giving you the stink eye.
I want to apologize for the shame for me. I was a little ill prepared today.
Yeah, Addison promises
not happen again.
He promises next week to be a little bit more professional. He came to the show about 20 minutes late with nothing in his hand. I had a pen, a pencil, a notebook.
I had a pen behind my ear, Chad.
Anyway, Addison, I've enjoyed us getting back together. Before we leave, let's definitely mention our website and how people can read. Oh, I forgot to mention. I got our first email of the year question today, right while you were running late. And it comes from our buddy Jeff in Hickory. Jeff Osborne?
Oh, Jeff Rowe.
Check it out. Before we leave, I wanted to definitely get him on the air because he has a great question. He says, Fantasy Formula Guru. Yes, that's you, Chad, not Addison. That's what he says.
I want to see that. I want to see that before you delete.
Upcoming draft, I have the first pick of the litter. Looking for some advice in a PPR league. Quarterbacks get points per completion as well, which is big because the quarterback gets, Drew Brees, he might have 40 completions. So that's 40 points. Below are the keepers that are gone. So it's a keeper league. Here are the people that are gone. Aaron Rodgers, C.J. Spiller, Ray Rice, LaShawn McCoy, RG3, Alfred Morris, Arian Foster, Calvin Johnson, AP, A.J. Green, Trent Richardson, Doug Martin, Drew Brees, Lynch, and Charles. So he has the first pick. Okay, so what does he do here, Addison? He's got the number 1 overall pick. He asks, do I go for like a quarterback with the, Peyton or Brady because they get a lot of points, or hold off on the quarterback like Peyton Brady, go with a big receiver that's left on the board, and maybe try to get Matt Ryan, somebody of that caliber, in the next round? What would you do?
So the quarterbacks get. I would go with the top tier quarterback right off the gate. I mean,
and who would that be?
I'd go with
Rodgers and Brees are already gone, so you got Peyton and Brady left on the board.
And Brady. Pick this one of those. I mean, this completion percentage. I mean, you're looking at quarterbacks with 67% completion percentages. Mm-hmm. No brainer. If you're getting a point or half point for them, easy.
But think about this: could you get draft Brandon Marshall or Des Bryant, a receiver that is, or Steven Jackson? He's still on the board. Grab a Steven Jackson, come back in the second round, and then grab your quarterback, a Stafford, a Matt Ryan,
receiver's going to have how many receptions a game? Average.
Brandon Marshall's like 10 to 12. Yeah.
How many completions is the quarterback going to have a game?
I'm saying you can get the quarterback the next round.
You can probably get one of those receivers next round too.
Not Brandon Marshall. Anyway, we're torn here, Mr. Osborne. I appreciate the question.
Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Addison goes Tom Brady. I'm going to go Steven Jackson because I'm not going to see. I'm going Brandon Marshall. Mark me down for Brandon Marshall and get your quarterback on the second round. Addison's going Peyton Manning, and you get another wide receiver in the second round. Jeff, thanks for the question. And guys, if you want to reach us here at the Fantasy Formula, check us out on the web, www.themesh.tv, or email us, info@themesh.tv. Any question you want us to answer, we'll be more than happy to do it. You can even call into our voicemail line. Leave us a question on the voicemail line. We'll edit it into the show, 828-619-0048, and you'll be able to hear your question on our show. Hope you guys enjoyed our first day back. A little rusty. A little rusty. Of course, I came with 110%. You came with about 72, but you'll be back next week,
I will be.
You'll be back next week. Also, don't forget, you can find us on Facebook or Twitter. Until next time.
Who day, baby.
Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.